Hello, my friends, and welcome to another speed build. Today we are building in Brindleton Bay, and I looked up on Pinterest a few things because the thing that was trending on the gallery was cats and dogs. So I figured I would do something for Brindleton Bay with cats and dogs, which is like one of my favorite packs. I would definitely say it's got to be between cats and dogs and seasons for me. I absolutely love the two. So this house is only cats and dogs and base game, which is super awesome for any of you who are on the console, or any of you who only have cats and dogs in your game. Everything in this pack is just those two things, base game and cats and dogs. So I'm building a boathouse here. I went off of a little picture that I found on Pinterest for a boathouse. It was some plans that had been drawn up. Not a real house yet, but I created it in the Sims 4. It had two garages down below, and as y'all know, we don't really have those in the Sims because we don't have cars. So I converted the downstairs bedroom, or I converted the downstairs garage into a bedroom for a teenage boy who is the family I had in mind for this is a single dad and his son, and they live here, and his son wants to be a vet, so they live in Brindleton Bay. His dad moved here and built this boathouse for them because he wanted his son to be successful and be able to start his own vet company or whatever, veterinary practice. So yeah, that is what's happening here, and right now I'm just trying to get everything laid out the way that it's supposed to look. I was going off of a reference photo that I posted on my Facebook. I can post it down below too if y'all would like me to. But yeah, so it was a little bit difficult. I definitely had a challenge here and there with some things, but overall it was really fun and I had a lot of time, and it took me only about 2 hours to build this. So it wasn't terrible. The roofing was a nightmare because it kept clipping. So that was super frustrating, but I ended up figuring it out and getting everything going in the way that I wanted it to. So it ended up looking so good. I'm like so happy with this house. Oh, I put these things here you can see on the front. If you look, it looks like little mountains. They're roof pieces. I end up deleting them because I absolutely hated them. But I was really trying to do this thing that I saw on the gallery. This girl had used 2 pieces of roofs to cross them and make it look beautiful. But I never looked at it before, other than that one time. And I couldn't remember how to do it, so I ended up just deleting them. I liked it at first, but then I was like, this is not a mountain house. This is a boathouse. So yeah, I deleted them. We're doing the windows now. Super fun, you know. I found this cool thing in Debug. It's from Brindleton Bay. And it's just perfect. I throw a boat back there and do some fun stuff with that. But yeah, overall, this build was really fun to do for me. I love the beach. I love being at the bay. I love being at the lake. It doesn't matter to me. It could be a lake house, could be a beach house, whatever. But this meant a lot to me because I absolutely love beach houses. And if I could, I would 100% live at the beach. It's just Corpus Christi's not quite the place that I want to, raise my family, so I can't live down there. But I wish I could, and I wish Texas had better beaches, that's for sure, because we definitely don't. I've been going to North Padre Island, North Padre Island forever. My family has a beach house out there, and so we are able to go. When I was growing up, we used to go all the time, and we still make it a point to go down there a few times a year. So I absolutely love beach houses. I love being at the beach, and this build was really special to me because I felt like in a different world, I could have maybe lived in a house like this, had my daughter and I grown up at the beach and whatnot, because it's a smaller home. It's not a tiny home. I didn't try to make it a tiny home, but it's not a tiny home, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, here I'm just putting in some logs in the back of that truck that you saw, and then I'm trying to figure out what kind of trees I want here because it's Brindleton Bay. It's the beach, but not really. It's a bay, obviously. So I tried to do palm trees at first, but I didn't like the way it looked with the world, so I went ahead with different debug trees. I tried to put these cool little ground garden things in everywhere, but they didn't work anywhere. The lot was a little bit too small to fit them, and I was worried the Sims wouldn't be able to walk over it, so I took it out. And I'm just doing some landscaping here and kind of making the outside look real super pretty. yeah, so we're just doing some finishing touches here on the outside, and then I'm going to jump into the inside. But I got all this stuff that you're seeing, all these decorations, all these plants and everything off of the debug menu. Like 99% of it is from the debug menu. And if you look, I'll link my cheats video down below. If you want to look at it real quick and you don't want to watch the whole 11-minute video, I get it. I put in the comments all the cheats that you could possibly need in build mode. So anything that I'm using here, I did cover all of the basics in my video that is on my YouTube channel. So that room that you just saw downstairs was me converting the garage into a bedroom, and I couldn't really decide what I wanted to do yet, so I kind of skipped over it, and I'm going to come back to it later. Here I'm doing the kitchen. I struggled a little bit with the kitchen because it was kind of confusing. I didn't want to know, like I couldn't decide which way I wanted to do the layout and blah blah blah. I was trying to make it look real beachy, but also kind of like a lake house and really industrial, because I knew it was a single dad and his son who lived here. So it's a very masculine house, and I wanted it to maintain that. I didn't want it to be very girly, and I didn't want it to be very cluttered, because I assume that the two of them are pretty, you know, the son wants to study to be a doctor, a veterinarian of veterinary medicine, and the dad I figured was probably just a guy who is pretty average. Maybe he was in the military before, so he's a very clean guy. He's not cluttered, you know, and he kind of keeps to himself and whatnot. I have a reference that I'm going off of for this house, for this whole house actually. My sister has a girlfriend, and I kind of envisioned this was like if her and her dad lived in a boathouse, then this is kind of how it would be, the dynamic and how it would be and everything like that. So I kind of used them as a little bit of a poster, if you will. But I ended up absolutely loving it. And I changed this a little bit around in here in the bedroom. So you see here that it doesn't look like there's a roof. I had so many issues with the roof, I'm telling y'all. Like, I don't know what the deal was, but it did not want to compute with the roofing. So I struggled a few times. I don't know, maybe y'all can open it up in build mode and figure it out for me. But I ended up, you know, just rolling with it. It has a ceiling. I don't know why it's saying it doesn't have a ceiling, or like you can see the moonlight in it and the sunlight or whatever, but maybe somebody can figure it out for me if they put it in their world. But yeah, I'm just doing the bathroom here. It's not very exciting. Both the bathrooms are exactly the same. As a matter of fact, I think I totally skip over the other bathroom because there's just no reason to watch me build it. Everybody knows what a bathroom looks like. But yeah, here's the bedroom. Again, I changed a few things in there so it doesn't look like this in the end. I put these little birds. I found these little feather picture things from Brindleton Bay in the debug menu, and I absolutely loved them. I thought it would be really cool that he maybe like collects them. Maybe he has a dog or a cat or something, and they travel the world and they bring him back little feathers, and so he kind of collects them. I thought that was kind of cool for the dad to do, because this is the dad's bedroom and bathroom upstairs. Kind of his whole loft area, so he can have like his own personal space. And then the son or the daughter, whatever, it doesn't have to be a gender thing, they live down. So yeah, here I'm just doing the living room and figuring out how I want the living room set up. And again, I figured it was a single dad and his kids, so it's not super, you know, decorated. It's very, you know, basic. And I just figured, you know, he probably had these couches for a while. Maybe his mom gave them to him or something. It's nothing fancy. They definitely live like a very humble life. There's you know, no extraordinary. They don't even have a TV down there, but they each have a TV in their bedrooms, because I figured they probably like only hang out in the common areas like a few times a day, and they're mostly in their rooms. The son, I imagined, would be like downstairs working all the time with his veterinarian stuff and studying and all that stuff, because he has a computer downstairs and some other stuff you'll see in a little while. And the dad, I figured, would probably always be out. He has a boat and a truck outside, and then in the front yard he also has another truck full of like logs and stuff, so I figured he maybe does some like work on the beach or the bay or something. In his free time. Maybe he's living on like a VA like I am, like benefits, and so he doesn't have to work anymore. He's like retired military, something like that is kind of what I figured for this house. But yeah, so right down here is kind of like a little study area and the bedroom for the son or daughter or whoever that is the dad's child. So this is his bedroom and bathroom that the garage was converted into. Again, I skip over the bathroom because they all kind of look the same. I just put some vet posters in here because I figured he'd be studying all that. and then his TV, and he has his own little living room and common area downstairs too, which I thought was kind of cool because like they're not going to use the garage. First of all, trucks don't usually fit in garages anyway. So the dad went ahead and just remodeled the whole thing for the son so he could kind of, further his education and get into vet school and all that. So he has this little Dr. Magic's or whatever little test thing over there for cats and dogs, and then a little bookshelf and his computer area with his books and his little dog or cat bed or whatever. So yeah, that's about it for the build. And guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed building this. I had a lot of fun, and I really hope y'all enjoy the screenshots and everything else. Don't forget to subscribe and like and leave comments for anything that you want to see in the future, and I will see you next time.